Be prepared for highly offensive language and adult and sexual themes.
你好 ，Rylan， 有什么可以帮你的？
你好 I think.
抱歉，我不明白你在说什么。
Hello?
可能你要好好学一下你的汉语了。
Han, is it the cat? Do you mean the cat?
谢谢 Rylan， 多保重吧。现在我把时间交给你的 Big Brother's Beat on the Side。
Na xulwot der tajtsel, wo xakola, wo man kajxel ba. Big Brother's been on the side! Washur Neil watching GMU. Just getting into the spirit of this week's shopping task. They're fluent in many languages. We've got a new housemate as well. Say hello to baby Bow Bow. Don't you worry, my darling.
Fucking baby up.
All right, Isa. Don't make it a beef ting, you know. This task is already a classic because it's given us this incredible sight. I love it. Coming up today, we're going to be delving into the brains of our housemates. Not literally, we weren't allowed to touch their actual heads. I've called on one of the experts from The Secret Life of 4 and 5-year-olds, Professor Paul Howard-Jones, an actual professor, everyone. He's going to be studying our housemates and work out who's the biggest baby, who's thrown their toys out the pram, and who's the most prone to a tantrum will do. Also tonight, as eviction day looms, retired Lord Chief Justice Rylan is out of retirement again.
I'm talking now, all right? Pick up.
He's back. He's going to be hearing witness statements in defence of our 3 housemates who faced the public vote this week. Will the evidence sway you? You, because you are the jury. Before we go on, we've got to talk about the fact that there's 2 new housemates going in the house tomorrow night, guys. I can reveal to you that one is a male physiotherapist. So Thomas better watch out with all their massages. And one is a female racehorse rider. But that's all I can tell you. One will be... He's loving it. Look, of course he is. It all is going to be revealed in tomorrow night's live show. But before all of that, it is time for my panel to check in as the Bots Airline flight to superstardom is ready to board. And we're a bit like BB Airlines, only cheaper. A watchful eye whilst you fly. I've lined up a trio of absolute legends for my Throwback Thursday night panel, featuring some of my favourite ever Big Brother stars who's made me laugh, cry, and just do everything, really. Unfortunately, they all got stuck in large traffic on the M25 around Junction 13. But luckily, found these 3 outside, rummaging through the bins. So first up, she won Big Brother, she's taken the fitness world by storm, and she's practically a god in her native Bristol. We are not worthy. It's Josie Gilson! From a glamour to an absolute sex pot next, she always looks $1 million on that £1 budget. She loves it. It's Lisa Appleton! Finally, no series would be complete without a panel appearance by my last guest. He is the elder statesman of celebrity Big Brother. How dare you, bull bitch, John McCreary! It's going to be a long night, and I've got the baby. Listen, we're ready to get cracking with the debating, but firstly, I just want to say a massive congratulations to Josie. It's the first time ever he sees the birth of Reggie James. Have we got a little picture of Reggie James? Oh, we haven't got one. We haven't got one. He is gorgeous. How are you feeling?
I feel absolutely, totally in
Don't
love.
she look beautiful as well? Congratulations, Joan.
Thank you.
I might be getting any tips for me with little Bao Bao?
Oh, do it. It's the best thing ever.
I've done it. I've got Bao Bao. We get it. John, I've got to come to you very, very quickly.
Quickly, I want to. Is she going to breastfeed on the show?
No, she is not, John. He's been. John, on a serious note, I do want to come to you because you know how much I love you, and we know how much everyone loves you on this show. I know you've had your health battles the past year. They do. I know you've had your health battles over the past year. And it's so lovely to see you, but I just want to check, is everything all right? Are you well? Good health?
Getting better.
Good.
You know, getting better.
It's lovely to have him back, isn't it? So lovely to see you. We love you dearly. Right, well, let's prepare to take off on tonight's debate, and from flights to China to flights of fancy. We've got to start with Kian's declaration of his feelings towards Cameron. Now, obviously, panel as well, we do need to be very careful not to speculate about Cameron. We all might have our opinions, and I think in tonight's show, it was a little bit more clear what he was maybe talking about, but whatever it is, obviously it's up for him to say in his own time. But, Josie, let me start with you on this one. What did you make of Kian's declaration?
If he fancies it, he fancies it. We can't help who he fancies. But what I didn't like was Lewis. Like, that guy could win the lottery and still have, like, a moan about it. Do you know what I mean? Just let him carry on.
We're going to be talking about Lewis in just a second, but Kian said he'd been feeling like this for a while. John, do you think he did the right thing in telling Cameron he had feelings for him?
You must pick your time. Don't forget, Cameron is like Private Pike in Dad's Army, the stupid boy.
Ask your parents or grandparents.
It just reminds me of that. And I remember when the booby proposed to me, we were on a beach in Maui. It was sunlit, she was on her knees. No. It was a sad occasion, and I said hello to her, and she thought I'd said yes. So, you know.
Oh, John, what are you
that was a big mistake.
He's never going to change, is he? This one. Lisa, what was you making? Lovely to have Lisa back as well tonight. I love it.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Always
no
a pleasure.
boobies and no sausages. I think Kian is ready for the bigger picture, and he needs to respect.
What did you make of Cameron's reaction though? Because he seemed to take it quite. I think Cameron knew. I mean, I'm not. I weren't there. I'm not him. He's not here to say that. But I think he had an inkling that Kian might have had his eye on him. What did you make of his reaction?
I think he's secretly made up. But he needs to do it in his own time. And he finds it very overwhelming. Of course. Because I think Kian is really going for it.
Can I just say, I love the way that Lisa Appleton's gone all excited and going, Kian. I like it. You've changed. Kian confessed to most of the housemates that he fancies Cameron. Joseph, we'll get to Lewis in a minute, but we obviously saw Lewis's reaction. But do you think he should have kept it a bit more private, or is he well within his rights to say what he's thinking?
Like I said, if you fancy someone, you fancy someone. It doesn't matter if they're not your type or you're not their type. And he's not the sort of person that can keep things in, is he?
No,
so,
he's not.
Yeah, and it would only be eating him up if he didn't tell everybody.
Do you know what?
Anyway.
I've got a treat for you, Josie Gibson.
You fancy me?
No, obviously. Standard. Babe, where that rainbow's looking, I can't stop looking at it. Do you know what I mean? I have got an exclusive clip for you lot now. This is what happened this morning, and Kian was feeling a little bit regretful. Have a look.
Why did I do that to myself?
Pissed up Kian was about last night.
Yeah, I was proper pissed last night. I don't know how, because I only had like 4 drinks, maybe 5. My God, like, he's 18.
I know.
I don't think anyone has ever had a crush on him before.
That's what I was thinking, like, you're just, like, completely different, man.
I would eat him alive.
You would, mate. You wouldn't know what hit him.
Oh, God almighty.
What are you going to say now, then?
I'm trying to make a joke out of it. On a scale of 1 to 10, Cameron, how awkward are you with me?
It's fine, don't worry.
Does seem a little bit awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do you think Cameron's going to deal with it?
I think Kian wants to chat about it all the time and make it known. And I think Cameron's going to go a little bit, yo.
Cameron's trying to find that carpet and that broom to brush it right under there.
Say slowly.
Do you know what? Catchy monkey indeed. We've got lots to come with Cameron and Kian, and I'm sure we will be talking about it a lot later, but let's talk about Lewis. Josie, you just brought him up earlier. I mean, I really like Lewis as a housemate. I really genuinely do. Yeah, I tell you why I like him, because I think he's really giving in the house. You know, we're seeing a lot of content of him, but do you think sometimes he's maybe too deep for his own good?
I honestly think he is the biggest game player in the house. I think he's like...
Really?
Yeah. He's picking them off one by one. He's like the secret assassin.
You think?
Yeah.
A lot of people seem to agree. Who agrees with Josie there? You agree?
Yeah. Lewis is playing the game to try and section everyone else off one by one. And now he's got Cameron trapped in the position where he doesn't know who to be and how to be, which is a bit vulnerable for Cameron. He needs to be able to express in his own time.
Do you think it's a gameplay on Lewis's part?
I think so. Now he knows the stronger characters are out. He feels he can kind of shine.
I can hear a voice behind me that recently had her hair done. Barbara, let's go over to you. You're disagreeing. Go on the shiny lip gloss tonight, Barbara.
I have this on every night.
You've gone a bit more glittery tonight, girl. Go on, we're coming to the end and she's brought the lip gloss out. Let me tell you.
Poor Cameron, right, if it was in ordinary life, none of this would happen. And if it was a boy and a girl, it'd be good luck. But I think because he's trying to...
We obviously don't know, but
No, we don't know, but I think he's trying to make them both happy. And we said that he's too deep for his own good.
Goes down too deep.
And you're in this small house.
He overthinks.
You think Lewis overthinks things sometimes?
Yeah.
But you think he's willing and you think it's all coming from a good place for him?
I think so, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you do as well? Well, look, what does that tell you, eh? What's that tell you? Don't want to get on the wrong side of the Golden Girls, let me tell you. Lise, have you ever overpacked for a flight and felt like a fool? Like tonight, you know, they all overpacked.
All the time, I'm the star of the airport. You know.
I bet you bloody
I get things took off me, I get told off, security search me. You know, you're on the airport.
But Lise, do you secretly enjoy it?
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I knew she did.
Not wrong with that.
We need to talk about our newest housemate. It's not Bow Wow, it's not Boo Woo or Bam Bam, it's Bow Bow, everybody. Look at little Bow Bow, my little darling. It's not that hard to get his name right. I wish people would get it right. It's Bow Bow. This is my little Bow Bow. John, what did you make of Lewis's bond with Bow Bow? Because they become very attached.
Well, he had a bond before with Lewis F, didn't he? And he's not the same now. Lewis F and Lewis G. Once Lewis G went, the public was stupid enough to vote. What's wrong with you? You voted out a real character out of the house. Oh, while he was playing. It was ridiculous. Since then, Lewis F has come out because he was absolutely under the control of Lewis G. Bring back Lewis G, I say.
He's going to get the odds out in a minute. I can sense it, all of that. Jose, I mean, the ultimate question, I think, has got to be, Lewis, he's done a good job with my little Bow Bow here, but would you let him babysit Reggie James?
I just think he might be a bit too argumentative for a Reggie. But he did look very sexy holding a baby. My cup of tea, but he did look sexy.
Yeah, we can't agree here.
Like, good-looking guys are holding a baby. I'm like, please spit in my mouth.
Keep that in the bedroom, please. My baby's here. Disgraceful. I really think we're in for a bit of a treat tonight. Give this panel a round of applause. What a night we've got coming up. I'm going to go and brush up on my Mandarin so I can fall more of a fun with my little Bow Bow. But don't go anyway, because after the break, the secret life of 4- and 5-year-olds expert Professor Paul Howard-Jones is going to be here to explain how our housemates are behaving like children. Plus, breaking news from the house is Kian moving on from Cameron already. What? I'll see you straight after this break. Come on, Tony. Welcome back to Big Brothers Bit on the Side. Now, earlier we saw Thomas struggling to put that life jacket on. I mean, how hard could it be to put a life jacket on? Let me just put that over there and... I've got a baby, yeah? I've got a baby. Chat, she knows. Right, now, I've got a bots first for you. Now, over the years, critics have called our housemates spoilt brats, big babies, and childish cretins. So we thought, why not get in one of the experts from The Secret Life of 4- and 5-year-olds? It's time for... Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Professor Paul Howard-Jones! Paul, so lovely to have you on the show. Real pleasure. We know you from The Secret Life, and I love that show. I love watching it. You look into the sort of psychology of the children in there. What's the... Give me a bit more of an insight into what it is you actually do.
What am I?
What are you?
Technically, I'm a cognitive neuroscientist, which means that I'm interested in...
well, indeed. Thank you.
The minds of people, but also the brains of people, and particularly children, to understand how they behave.
And what are the similarities? I mean, I know we obviously... It's the same brain from when we were a child, but what are the similarities between a child's mind and an adult mind, if you like?
Well, I mean, in terms of behaviour, I think you'll probably see some clips tonight that probably suggest that there isn't a lot of difference sometimes. But, I mean, the significant thing is the brain is still developing, obviously, in a child. So you tend to see, you know, difficulties with regulating emotions. You tend to see, you know, sudden emotional outbursts, constant sort of, you know, throughput of different friendships and relationships. You know, quite often all this stuffed into a single day. You know, actually, it is a bit like Big Brother, actually.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Big Brother, what can I say? My little baby Bao Bao aside, obviously, are our housemates showing any type of childlike behaviour that you've picked up on?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, technically speaking, we're dealing with a bunch of adults who can really regulate their emotions. But I mean, under stress and pressure, you know, and I've noticed this happens particularly, you know, late in the evening. You tend to get tears, you know, before bedtime, I guess is what you might say. So, you know, under those sorts of circumstances, you know, you tend to see adults behaving in ways that children behave, you know, actually having trouble communicating, having trouble controlling their feelings, and behaving in ways they're not always, you know, are not optimum, let's say, for the situation.
I know you've been looking at our little dears, shall we call them, very closely. Who do you think is the most prone to throwing their toys out the pram? I suppose is probably the right expression for this.
OK, well, I mean, I would say Lewis probably is the one that's
you think
having the most difficulty. But, yeah, I mean... The thing is, he's a passionate guy, you know, and I like the passion, but the trouble is that often sort of becomes... It makes it difficult for him sometimes to communicate. You can hear that change in the tone of his voice, in the volume of his voice, and that actually means that he can't have the discussions that he wants to have with people.
Let's have a little look at what you're talking about. Take a look at this.
How am I being horrible there?
You're not.
Why did you say it then? Obviously you think that I am, but you're not saying it. All I was doing was trying to explain that I didn't actually say I was embarrassed. I'm saying it is embarrassing, but in a funny way.
All right.
So we've had a look at that clip there. What is it? I know you were briefly going into the sort of question I'm about to ask, but what do you make of his behaviour on the whole?
Well, I mean, that's kind of an example, really, of where, you know, it's already got to the point where people are quite wary about having the sorts of discussions that he wants to have. I mean, he's kind of a moralist. He wants to live in a world where everyone's being reasonable to each other and being reasonable to him, and that's a good thing. But reasonable in
his
terms,
own
yeah,
terms?
in Lewis's terms.
Yeah.
That's the trouble. So actually, he needs to have these discussions to find out why other people are behaving as they do, and he gets really frustrated when that can't happen, and of course that makes him more anxious, and then his tone changes, and then the communication starts breaking down. You can see that sort of Brooks, you know, already doesn't want to get involved.
No.
Essentially.
And I mean, that's sometimes how adults deal with children like that, you know. They sit there and go, I'm just not going to rise to it, and I'm going to leave you to deal with it in your own time. If this was in the playground and Lewis was a child, how would you deal with that?
Well, I think when the temperature has risen like that, I mean, you know, you've got a child in the playground who's not behaving as they should be. I think usually it's time out.
Oh, little naughty step.
Time out. You need a little quiet place to go and reflect, and that, of course, is the diary room. And actually, Lewis, quite often, he's quite happy in the
uses the diary room really well, I
room.
think.
Gives him a place to sort of, you know, unload and also have a little bit of think about what's going on.
Let's talk about gameplay, because this entire series is been described as one of the most competitive we've ever had. Thomas has made no secret of being a game player and, you know, stirring the pot sometimes. How would you... Well, I mean, would you see that type of behaviour in the playgrounds?
Well, of course, you see children having fun playing games all the time in the playground, but I think in this playground, there's only one individual who's really having fun playing a game, and I think that's Thomas.
And you think that's Thomas?
Yeah, I think so, and he's really enjoying it.
What do you make of his... I mean, we call it rivalry, but his rivalry with Akeem?
Well, I mean, first of all, I think what we really need to do is to get inside Thomas's brain to try to understand.
Oh my God, that's not
Thomas's
brain actually in your hand, is it? We've not gone that far deep in the site.
Let's say that it is Thomas's brain.
OK, go on.
OK, we're going to have to go inside the brain. Would you mind just holding that for me? Have you got...
Yeah.
You've got a lot in your hands now.
That's all right. I'm balancing.
And what I think we're seeing here, he's got really good connectivity, probably, between these deep emotional centres and his frontal lobes, where he does his strategising. And that's really helpful in two ways, because first of all, it means that he's actually in contact with his emotions. So he's using his instincts to seek out possible targets. You know, a key might be one of those. But the other thing is he's also able to regulate his emotions, so he doesn't give a lot away.
Ooh.
And that's what makes him a really good game player. And I don't think we should be underestimating what Thomas is capable of.
Don't underestimate him yet. I'm going to give you his brain back.
Thank you very much. I'll put it back together.
Just a little bit of spit up there from Balbo. You're right, darling. Don't worry, sweetheart. Let's talk about Cameron, because he is the youngest in there, and his age has been brought up a lot of times. Yeah. Do you think he's showing the fact he's the youngest in there? Is he showing his age, do you think?
Well, I think, I mean, going back to the brain again, but I would do that. You know, actually, adolescence doesn't stop on your 18th birthday. You know, we know the brain carries on developing, sometimes until you're 19 years old. So he's probably the one with the best biological excuse, if you like, for losing it occasionally. And, you know, at the very least, you know, he's going through some of that adolescent turmoil, and he's trying to sort the world out. He's actually got a lot of conflict there. He's thinking about a lot of things. He's feeling a lot of things. So, you know, in that sense, I actually think he's doing quite well, and we should give him some credit, really. I mean, he's 18.
Totally, and I think, you know, it's hard going in that house at any age.
Really
hard. At that
really
young, I mean, it is really, really tough. You mentioned it then. Let's have a little look at him having what we would call probably a typical teenage rant. Have a look.
And this is what makes me upset, because I'm close to him. I know that this is going to be his detriment in the house. He's not being untrue to himself, and I've said all this to his face. I'm not talking behind his back. I said this to him yesterday. He's not being untrue to himself. This is genuinely who he is. He has got that game player element to him.
Akeem, I'm not in front of anything, but you're going to have to shut the fuck up, because it's really starting to piss me off.
I don't care, mate. I'm practicing.
I don't know whether you're doing it for attention or whatever you're doing it for, but please, could you stop?
Being boring all the time.
I'm not being boring all the time, but you're really irritating me.
I don't care.
Why do you think he winds himself up so much in there? I mean, I know he's always saying it's someone else that's wound him up, but you've got to let someone do that to you, haven't you?
To some extent, but remember, he hasn't got, you know, the sort of life experience that the other members of the house have. So he's actually trying to sort things out as he goes along. And you can hear him there sort of reasoning it through and trying to work out exactly why this is happening and why it shouldn't happen and what other people are feeling. So, you know, in that sense, I think he's actually putting together the world quite well. But he's also, because of that conflict, he's got some anxiety there, some insecurity, and he's doing a lot of the classic sort of teenage things, you know, pulling his hood over his head. Sort of
Kenny from South Park. Yeah,
trying to protect himself. But, I mean, teenagers do it because they're... part of it, I think, is because they're trying to protect themselves from the world.
It's like blinkers on horses. John and I all about that. It is. It's just like keeping you on that straight and narrow, I suppose.
And they feel vulnerable. They feel vulnerable, and he wants to be a bit protected, I think.
Well, Paul, I've really enjoyed this. Have you? I've really enjoyed this. Give it up for Professor Paul Howard-Jones, everyone. Thank you. Love that. Just put the brain away now. Now, from big kids to... I suppose it's quite safe to say big old headlines. It's time for tomorrow's headlines in today's Bots News. Come on, darling. Come on, darling. Don't you worry about that, sweetheart. We'll just put these on you there because it's the news. There's my little darling. Look, he's got his own little set of glasses. This is taking longer than expected. Top stories tonight. Housemates talk bots. Kian finds himself in a sticky situation, and China's got talent. First up at 11:08 this morning, Kenny and Thomas were talking about the greatest show ever made. Which one, I hear you ask? Run VT.
Oh my God, I can see someone. Oh my God.
What, in that
Seen
mirror?
a hand, yeah.
I can see it as well.
What happened? I was just like doing something there and seen a hand. That's mad, that is.
Oh my God. What are you saying, G? There's no point in moving it. I can see you, cuz. See you later.
Oh my God, that is mad. What's the funniest, you know, when they do like a bit on the side, and then you see him go behind the stage like Rylan, and he's like talking, and then he's like shh, and then it goes and it's like live on the house. That's the most maddest thing.
In the window.
Yeah. That's mad. That is proper.
Did you hear that, BAFTAs? We're still waiting for our recognition. Maybe my invite got lost, who knows? Next up at 11:38, Kian was moving on from Cameron to another piece of meat. Run VT, can you... No.
We only got chopsticks, mate, so good
We
luck.
really do, and I was thinking, I bet you there's a sly fork around the house. I don't care.
I'll eat with chopsticks.
Any words of advice?
Stabbing the food with a chopstick. Probably the best advice. Good luck, big boy.
I'm actually using it like a fork and knife. No, come on.
Oh dear, you better chop, Kian. You can't leave China without picking up the culture. Who doesn't know how to use a chopstick? Do you know what I mean? It's quite embarrassing, really, when someone... OK, clearly someone don't. And finally, at 2:03 this afternoon, Kian wasn't the only housemate struggling to come to terms with Chinese culture. Run VT, darling. There you go. That's it.
Right hand comes up, left leg twist, right leg goes anti-clockwise.
That one goes...
Right leg steps out again. That's your... We should be... Fuck off!
Look, right leg. Oh, fuck, it's all backwards.
Exactly, see what I mean? Right, we can do this, we can do it. We've got to at least get like fucking 5 steps
We need the
right.
actual woman here.
Yeah, ring her.
Kennelly, you need to get with the times. Everything's done virtually now. You've probably just seen a little hand. I'm joined by my weather correspondent, Lisa Appleton. What's the weather like in China, Lisa?
I think you're both...
Yeah, sorry, we've run out of time, and that was today's Fox News. Thank you. Lovely to see you too, darling. Don't go anywhere, because after the break, I'm going to be getting dressed up, donning a wig and waving me little old gavel about, and I'm not just going out for the night. Retired Lord Chief Justice Rylan is back, everybody. There he is, look. Oh, he's obviously got the he's going to be hearing directly from our 3 nominated housemates, friends and family who'll be pleading their case to keep their loved ones in. I'll see you straight after this break. Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side. I've just rescued... No, look at my little baby, but I've just rescued this little pet from the house, and I'm going to keep it here on my panel to bring me all the good luck and prosperity it wants to bring. Hello, little kitten. Hello, darling. How are you? Yeah, he's all right. Everyone say hello to Meow Meow, everyone. Little meow, meow. Yeah. Obviously, don't get that confused with anything else. Just say no, kids. Now, I was lucky enough to go to China, first class, of course, Joe, to check out this week's shopping task before the housemates got there. So let's have a look at what happened.
Thank you very much. BB Airlines wishes you all a pleasant flight this morning.
I can't seriously be able to find out.
So currently, our housemates are on BB Airlines flight 2018 to China. And whilst they're there, we thought we'd have a little makeover. This is this week's shopping task, and everything is going to be in Chinese. Even Big Brother. Look, I mean, even the wall over here, it's all Chinese. I think I knew what it said before, but I've got no idea what it is now. Inside this envelope is a secret number, and if housemates can incur less fails than the secret number in this envelope, they'll pass this week's shopping task. Easy. So,
室友们，准备好一个颠簸的旅程吧。镜头回到你 ，Rylan。
All right, that bit of Mandarin wasn't it? But order, please. It is time to get legal. It is the return of...
Don't you know who I am? Lord Chief Justice Rylan, retired. Get out of my way, boy! Order! Dirty, dirty mare! I'm talking now, all right? Topic up!
Put them on properly, dear. Come on, help me. Help me out. That's it. Faster, I've got to show you. Not that fast, you stupid fool. Go, get out of it. Straight up, get. Order. Tonight we're in court for the matter of Akeem, Brooke and Isaac, who have been charged with crimes against the state of Big Brother. The defendants are all under... You're right, darling. Yeah. The defendants are all under house arrest, so unable to attend court tonight. However, I've summoned their nearest and dearest to plead on their behalf. Now, the Boxer Cream Court have gathered some equally damning evidence on our defendants. We've got 3 witnesses, allegedly. And first up in the court, we've got Akeem's dad, Gareth, on the telephonic device. Hello, Gareth.
Hi, Ryland.
It's Judge Ryland to you, please.
Oh, sorry, Judge Ryland.
Yes, you will be. Yes, you will. Oh, there you are. Akeem's arrogance, fake laughing and sneaky game playing have put him in a damning position this week. Let's have a look at the evidence for the jury's convenience and see how the defendant landed himself in this hot water.
My first nomination is Akeem.
Akeem. I really hate arrogance, and I thought he came across very arrogant. Who do you think you are?
I just think he's trying too hard to keep up with other people in the house.
I just think a lot of the things he does is a bit fake. He's based a lot of his personality around being at the top of the leaderboard.
I am the top of the leaderboard. Yeah, I want to get as far as I can in this competition, and at the first chance he gets, he's gonna come after me.
Order, come on! You poppycock. Gareth, shut up, don't let me come over. The accused, Akeem, is guilty of taking a seat on the fence. It's his inability to have an opinion his true crime. Come on, don't sit on the fence, Gareth.
No, he doesn't sit on the fence. Akeem's a peacemaker.
You think
he gets on with he gets on with everyone. Well, except maybe 2 people now, but not through a lack of trying, though, as you can see in the house. He's a lover, not a fighter.
Lovely. Thomas believes Akeem is playing a cunning game. Was getting on Thomas's bad side Akeem's biggest offence?
Thomas is the biggest game player in there. Akeem's being a key. What you see is what you get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would even get along with his biggest enemy.
Oh, silence! You're boring me now, Gareth. I understand you've prepared your closing statement. I understand you've prepared your closing statement. You're going to have 10 seconds to convince the public jury to keep your dear, dear son Akeem in. You may begin.
Akeem deserves to stay in the Big Brother house, as he is genuine, he's down to earth, and definitely not a fake. And he brings people together for chats and not chat shit behind their back.
Time's up! Silence in court, Gareth! Poppycock! Don't speak over me. You may hang up. Hurry up.
Okay,
we're paying
you.
for the call. Yes, goodbye to you. Next up, defending Brooke is her best buddy, Tyrese. Hurry up, Tyrese. Come on. Come on, I haven't got all day. In your Larry T-shirt. Brooke seems to have been enjoying her time in the house, playing it safe, some might say, but not safe enough, clearly. Her crime was getting on the wrong side of the public. Let's have a look at how she, Brooke, or should I say, Shook, handled the news.
Brooke.
I always thought if I was up for eviction, at least I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense because that happened.
Fucking hell.
I don't get that.
I didn't expect Brooke.
But then when no one's ever said anything to you and everyone is like, I'm so shocked you're up for eviction. I'd like to know if the public
do you know what I mean?
really don't want me in there for something. Why are you shocked? It's got to be a minimum of like 2 people. I'm just scared. I don't know what I've done. I could have done something so bad.
What a broken record. Tyrese, if that's your real name. The public have spoken and the female in question is facing the consequences. Could this, frankly, weak and pathetic side to her harm her chances of remaining the blubbering fool?
No, not at all. Brooke is amazing, like, honestly...
Don't slam my desk!
You haven't seen the best of her yet, honest.
Honest?
Yes,
really?
honestly.
Should I believe you?
You should believe, because Brooke's amazing. Like, every time you see her, she's having a laugh. I mean, bloody hell, get Akeem out.
Watch your language! Yesterday, the defendant gave accused Akeem a haircut, otherwise known as a close shave. Lols, or should I say lols, is her shocking inability to cut her supposed friend's hair her true crime?
I mean... Not really. I think that's a bit of a joke. Let's move on to the next question.
I don't make jokes!
Let's move on to the next question. Akeem's making a great job of looking...
Bang my desk again. I'm going to come over there, baby, and on. Silence now, please. Tyrese, if that's your real name. I understand you've prepared your closing statement. You're going to have 10 seconds to convince the public jury to keep your bestie, Brooke, in the Big Brother household. Straight down the lens, you may begin.
Keep Brooke in the house because you haven't seen enough of her yet. She's just warming up. Get a lesbian in there and you see what happens. She's amazing. Keep my Brooke. Save Brooke!
Right, finally defending Isaac. Is it Isaac? Is Isaac? Is his brother Levi? Come on, young man. Well, for a young man, you move very slow. OK. Now, Levi, well, with a name like that, I already don't trust you. Your brother may be good at lifting weights and punching bags, but it seems that he's the one who's taken a hit from his fellow housemate. Could this result in him getting knocked out? Let's have a look at the evidence.
My first nomination is going to be Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaac. I don't like the way he treats people. He's rude.
Suck a dick, bro. I mean that from the bottom of my ball bag.
He's rude. He's got no manners.
He definitely has a problem with me in terms of the coins.
How bad did he fuck me over?
Nothing. Don't lie. He thinks I was being a bit selfish.
He had an element of doom and gloom to the house after the big coin task. He seemed to, you know, put a lot of the blame on Zoe.
And you took a fiver for mine. Wouldn't have done that if it was fucking Charlotte.
It's not ideal to see my best friend in the house upset. That kind of upsets me.
Levi, your brother stands accused of having a wicked temper. He's been too gloomy and, worst of all, having criminally bad manners. And let me remind you all, manners make of the man. Levi, did your brother never learn to watch his P's and Q's?
Wow, are you attacking my mum there?
I have done nothing of the sort! How dare you! Your poor mother isn't here to defend herself. In fact, I love your mother. I've never met her, but I like her. I mean, she must be a lovely woman to produce two lovely boys like you.
What can I say?
Is he guilty of that?
No, I'd say we learnt manners. He knows his manners, but he's only following his example. Our mum swears just as much as him. So.
Well, that's fine, but not in my courtroom, thank you. Will his short temper result in a short stay in the house?
I'd like to hope not. He might have a short temper, but he's got a big heart, as everyone can probably
And a big
tell.
something else, as far as I'm aware. Order! Levi! Stop it, come on now, poppycock. Poppycock. I understand you've prepared your closing statement. You have 10 seconds to convince the public jury to keep your brother Isaac straight down the lens. You may begin.
Save Isaac. Isaac's being himself from the first day. He's got a lot more to offer, and he will carry on doing so. Vote Isaac.
Silence from you! Silence from you! That's enough. Return to your seat. So my regards to your mother. I'd like to thank all our character witnesses. You're officially dismissed from the courtroom. This case is adjourned for the jury to consider... What's the matter, darling? You all right? Yeah? All right. Adjourned for the jury to consider their verdict. Court will be in session tomorrow night. Now, that's the ruling of this court, and if you don't like it, tough. This isn't a democracy... Oh, what? Oh, except it is a democracy, apparently. You're the ultimate jury with the casting vote, so as ever, who goes? Yes! You decide, order, you filthy rat!
This week, Akeem, Brooke and Isaac all face the public vote. Who goes? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to evict. From a mobile, call 650 58 and add the number of the housemate you want to evict. For Akeem, add 01. For Brooke, add 03. For Isaac, add 06. Calls to the long number will cost 50p plus your network access charge. Calls to the short number will cost 50p. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. Votes cast after lines close won't count. If you're watching on catch-up after that or outside the UK, please don't vote. You can find terms on the Big Brother website.
Welcome back to Big Brother's bit on the side. Now, that big hand says exclusive, and that little hand says o'clock, which means it's exclusive. Didn't even rehearse that. Well done, you know. And it looks like there's another beef ting brewing.
I might go after Akeem tonight then. Just have an argument with him to take the limelight off you a little bit.
No, don't be so ridiculous.
Why is a prick anyway?
Don't be doing that. If you want to have a go, you know, if you want to confront him about something, confront him about something, but don't do it for fucking any other reason than that.
I'll probably enjoy it as well.
What are you pissed off with him about then? What you said last night?
I wouldn't say I'm pissed off with him, just think he's a rat. He's a little bit of a weasel, isn't he? Two-faced. Call me brother and that so much a day. Fuck off.
Oh, it is brewing, Lewis. It's got the names out for Akeem. You can catch all of that in tomorrow night's main show, but takeoff is imminent before we see which housemate you want to see fly away on BB Airlines with just a one-way ticket. It's time to find out who you think should stay and who should go. We have got 1 minute on the clock to talk about each of our housemates facing eviction. When the time's up, we'll hear this noise. Bless him. And we'll move on. So let's start with Akeem. Start the clock. Lisa, what are you making of Akeem?
Akeem, love him. He's laid back cruising. He's popular. He's chill. He's a good housemate.
Do you like him?
Definitely.
You want him to stay?
Keep him, definitely.
John,
yeah.
Akeem.
Devious, completely in all things to all housemates. Playing the game, he's the one to go. Vote him out! Vote out Akeem!
Josie, Akeem.
I could be mates with him in real life. I think I could go for a drink with him and have a really nice time. You could talk to him.
You'd like to see him stay?
Yeah, you sorry?
You'd like to see him stay?
Yeah, I like him.
You'd like to see him stay? Akeem. Oh, Paul, of course you're over here.
I think Akeem is coming over slightly smug, and I'd actually prefer he goes. Unfortunately, I've got a feeling Isaac might be in danger.
You think it might be Isaac? Akeem?
Isaac has to go.
We'll come back to Isaac. What are you making of Akeem?
Keep him.
You think keep Akeem? Akeem?
Your eyes, you think you got Tom Jones in the room with you?
Oh, I bet you'd like Tom Jones in the room with you. Oh, darling! All right, let's move on to Brooke. Start the clock. Josie, Brooke.
I don't think we've seen enough of Brooke. I really, really think she's a genuine, lovely girl. We keep her, and I think she's got a lot more to give.
You think she's got more to give?
Yeah.
John, Brooke.
Paranoia. She couldn't work out who had voted her out. All she could think about, everybody she spoke to, did you vote me out? Did you vote me out?
Sorry for her.
Oh, she's mental. Woman's mental.
Not bad. Lisa, Brooke.
Brooke deserves a chance. Brooke definitely deserves a chance to stay. She's got to come out of her shell, give her some time. She doesn't feel like any of the housemates like her.
She's been in that shell for 3 weeks. She's been in this damn shell.
Yeah, but she's going to give her a chance to come out of her shell.
You want to give her a chance, Brooke?
Give her a chance.
I feel like she's one of those pretty girls that she feels like everyone should like her, and they don't, so she's over it.
Do you think she's done enough?
I feel like she's just boring.
You think she should go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyone else, Brooke?
I like Brooke. I think she's very sincere, and I think that she has, even though I think she has got a lot to give.
You think she's got a lot to give? Brooke, anyone, Brooke?
I'm sorry, she should have started a little
You
bit.
made my baby cry! Dare you? Right, let's move on to Isaac. Start the clock. Lisa, Isaac.
Oh, Isaac, definitely to go. He's not been nice to Akeem since day one. He's been awful. He might be a nice guy, all due respect, but he's negative to all the housemates. He's bringing that to the house, and
You think he should go? John, Isaac.
Isaac, macho hunk in the house, but that unpleasant snarling he had with Kennelly was absolutely terrible. I think that will cost him his place.
You think that's cost him his place, Josie? Isaac?
Out of all three of them, I'd like him to go, but he is lovely to look at, though, isn't he? That's the only problem.
So all of you think he should go. Who wants him to stay? You want him to stay or go? You want him to go? Let me find someone who wants to stay.
Stay. We need eye candy, and Isaac just kind of simmers on the surface. He has his good day, then he has his bad day, and he kind of gives you the mix you need in the week.
OK, and what is it you want to say?
What I'm saying is, can't no one see the arrogance or the, you know, I'm better than thee behaviour? No, open the door.
You think he thinks he's better than everyone? You made my baby cry! Very, very quickly, down the panel. Who do you want to see out tomorrow night? Just need a name. Lisa.
Isaac.
John.
Isaac and Akeem, kick them both
Josie.
out.
I'm with John, either Isaac or Akeem.
Who do you want out? Quick!
Akeem!
Time's up! Thank you so much to my boss on the boss panel, everyone! To my fabulous audience. To you lot home for watching. But the biggest thank you to my lovely Bow, my little darling. I'm going to be back tomorrow night, straight after the main show, with all the latest post-eviction gossip with your latest evictee, Shizzy Abdulu and brace yourself, you filthy beggars. Kim Woodburn is back on your telly. Until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Night, night.